Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Directors and myself, thank you for joining us today for the Clarke Electric Annual Meeting. I'm Kyle Kelso, Board President, and I call this meeting to order. This is a change from our normal annual meeting practice, and we appreciate everyone's flexibility and patience. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it became necessary for the safety of our members and our employees to conduct our annual business meeting a little bit differently. We will conduct a memberless meeting to hold the election of directors and to vote on an amendment to the Articles of the Incorporation. All reports were mailed to our members prior to the meeting, along with the official notice and ballots. Members were encouraged to exercise their right to vote in the elections. Ballots will be counted towards a quorum to meet the bylaws and Articles of Incorporation guidelines. Welcome Clarke Electric's attorney, Dennis Puckett from Sullivan & Ward. He will conduct the next order of business.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here to help you with the annual meeting. It's very unique this year with just the mail balloting. I know on behalf of the directors that they wish that they were able to visit with the members and socialize with the members, but we are able to complete the business of this annual meeting based on the bylaws. So the director election process begins with the appointment of a nominating committee. This year, there were 2 individuals appointed from each of the districts for whom a director is to be elected. The nominating committee this year was appointed on May 20th. And in district number 1, we had Ted Hall and Brad Hobbs serving. And in district number 3, we had Trinda McIntyre and Billy Joe Henricks serving. And in district number 7, we had Gary Allen and Burton Prunty serving. So thank you to those members who were willing to serve on the nominating committee. The bylaws do provide a process for nominations by petition, and there were no nominations by petition. The nominating committee appointed candidates from each of those 3 districts. And in district number 1, they nominated Bill Willis and Andrew Wood. In district number 3, they nominated Dan Christensen, Cody Miller, and Ed Moffitt. And in district number 7, they nominated Larry Jackson and Chris Roberts. We did collect all of the mail ballots and those ballots that were dropped off at the office. So it'd be appropriate at this time to close the balloting. We have had an opportunity to count all of the ballots, and in a minute I will announce the election results. Prior to announcing the election results, I'll note that at this meeting we typically have the approval of the minutes of the prior year's member meeting. This year, since we do not have members present, we will not approve the minutes at this year's meeting, but we will approve the minutes of the September 16, 2019 meeting at next year's member meeting. And now for the election results. The candidate receiving the highest number of votes in each of the districts is elected for a term of 3 years. And the winners are in district number 1, Bill Willis. In district number 3, Cody Miller. And in district number 7, Larry Jackson. So congratulations to the winners. They will be elected for a term of 3 years. And then this year, the members had an opportunity to also vote on an amendment to the Articles of Incorporation. The amendment would allow the Board of Directors, if they determined it's appropriate and if it can be done in a safe and appropriate manner, to provide for electronic voting. The members were all given an opportunity to vote on that at the time that they voted for the directors. Under the Iowa Code, the amendment, in order to be approved, has to be approved by a supermajority vote of 66 2/3%. The amendment, we had 367 votes in favor, 63 votes against, of a total of 430 votes cast, and 85% in favor. So the amendment did receive sufficient support from the membership to pass, and therefore the Articles of Incorporation will be amended as proposed. Thanks to all the members for participating in the director election and the vote on the amendment. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Opie. I'm the General Manager at Clarke Electric Cooperative, and normally I would be presenting to you in person at our annual meeting, but nothing is normal in 2020. Hopefully, these annual meeting videos will help you stay connected with Clarke Electric Cooperative in the absence of our in-person meeting. This year's annual meeting reflects on 2019, which is our last completed fiscal year. And 2019 seems like a long time ago because 2020 is a lot has happened in 2020. For Clarke Electric Cooperative, 2019 was a year of progress and preparation for the future. In 2019, we focused our team on the reduction of outage events and the length of outages. We improved the way we approach outages, which included repair, documentation, and prevention. We added animal guards and protection to our poles and substations, which helps reduce the number of animal and bird-related outages. We also prioritized the replacement of failing distribution lines. We invested in the distribution system and substations equipment, including upgrading our substation transformers, and that helps improve reliability. We spent 2019 preparing for our facility improvement plan, and this has been going on for a long time, the preparation, but now we finally started it, and this is a big undertaking, and it will not be completed until the beginning of 2021. It will provide a healthier and more efficient work environment, and we can better serve you, our members, by making these facility improvements. The outcome will include a safer pole yard, efficient and secure grounds and buildings, and today's big bucket trucks that we have, they don't even fit into the warehouse that was built back in 1953. Our employees, they're the best. And in 2019, we hired a couple great apprentice linemen, Dominic Crusta and Zachary Stewart, and they were hired to replace linemen that had retired. Also in 2019, we said goodbye to one of our long-term employees, a warehouseman, John Heilman, who left to enjoy his well-deserved retirement. On the financial side, we continue to pay down debt, monitor financial trends and performances. The 2019 weather was extreme enough to generate better than budgeted revenues and bottom line margin, and this allows us to meet our loan obligations and stay financially healthy. Our employees worked hard to keep expenses down and follow the board-approved budget, balancing the need to update infrastructure while keeping rates affordable. We follow our fleet plan of cycling out old and obsolete vehicles and equipment. In 2019, we purchased a skid loader and a new bucket truck. We continued our technology implementation, including expanding our system, which allows for remote monitoring and control of our substations and distribution system. All of our employees have laptops or iPads, and these proactive actions position Clarke Electric Cooperative to be able to work remotely when the coronavirus hit. Community development is one of our cooperative principles. We continued our community investment efforts by using economic development loans to support Lucas County Healthcare and Wayne County Housing. Our newly formed Operations Roundup program made its first donations to a number of recipients. We also support mutual aid among our cooperatives by offering some of our dedicated linemen to help with storm recovery after a natural disaster. In 2019, we sent 4 linemen to help a Minnesota cooperative after a winter storm. While I would consider 2019 a fairly standard year, serving as our members' safe, reliable, and affordable power source, I would consider it an outstanding year because we sent all of our employees safely home each day to their families. Thank you for your support and understanding as we work to bring you the power to live your lives in the communities that we enjoy. Please watch the other annual meeting updates from our board president and our leadership team. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sam Walkup, the manager of finance here at Clarke Electric. 2019 was a good revenue year for the cooperative. Kilowatt usage was higher than budgeted, therefore revenues were higher than budgeted. The increase in kilowatt usage drove the power bill higher than expected, but our employees did a great job of reducing the other operating costs. This led us to have a year-end margin of $1,037,007. Patronage capital, also called margins, is the difference between Clarke Electric's operating revenue and its operating expenses for a given year. Margins are allocated on an annual basis to the cooperative members based on the usage that the member had in that given year. Clarke is different from other utilities because it's a not-for-profit and we are owned by those we serve. As a member, you have a share in the earnings of your nonprofit cooperative. Clarke's rates are established to bring in enough money to pay the operating costs, make payments on loans, and provide an emergency reserve. Revenues in excess of the cost of doing business are returned to the co-op's members as patronage capital. Clarke's tariff states we will pay those margins on a 20-year rotation. This means that Clarke pays portions of its year-end margins back to the members within 20 years of booking the margin. Currently, Clarke is ahead of schedule, returning the margins within 18 years. As directed by the Board of Directors, the total patronage paid back to members in 2019 was $300,000. $287,120 of those margins were paid back to members as a credit on their December bill, with the remainder of the $300,000 being paid to the states. This payment was to current and past members for the remainder of 2001 and a portion of 2002. Patronage capital payments include our current and past members. Each member has a patronage capital account, which represents a member's ownership in the cooperative. We ended 2019 financially strong to assure that we can deliver safe, efficient, reliable, and affordable electricity to our members like you.
Hello, I'm Jody Eccles, and I'm the Manager of Communications and Human Resources for Clarke Electric Cooperative. I've been with the cooperative for 21 years. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the human resources part of my job and how hiring employees is key for us to providing great customer service. Making sure we have dedicated and committed and professional employees is one way that we try to achieve this goal. When we are hiring new employees, we want to be sure they match the safety-minded, community-invested culture that we have. This requires planning to make sure we have employees in place for all the life events that happen along the way. While we can't anticipate everything that might happen, we can be sure that we have a dedicated workforce. I'd like to take you on a mini tour of the people behind the power. Operationally, we have 10 dedicated and professionally trained linemen. They must be a graduate of accredited power line college and then complete an 8-step program before they can reach a journeyman status. So we know when the power goes out, we have knowledgeable linemen working for you to get the power safely back on. We have an additional 7 people working to support the operations department, reading meters, testing meters, creating and updating maps, and meeting with members to plan for their electric service needs. Our friendly office staff of 7 are here to answer the questions you might have, create the working budget, file reports, communicate with and to the members, and in general, all other administrative functions associated with running the cooperative. Longevity of our employees is another key to the success of serving our members. In 2019, 30% of our employees were with the cooperative for more than 20 years. The continuity in service is what makes us good at safely delivering power to our members. I'd like to share a few facts about the history of Clarke Electric as it pertains to the employees. 20 years ago, we had 36 employees. Of those 36, 14 have retired. In the last 5 years, we hired 8 new employees to replace retiring and promoted employees. In 2019, we hired 2 new apprentice linemen to replace 2 linemen that transferred back to their home co-ops. We had 1 warehouseman that retired after 25 years. We ended the year with 24 employees. We want you to be confident that we are doing everything we can to hire, promote, and retain good employees and keep the power flowing to your homes. Thanks for being a member of Clarke Electric Cooperative.
First of all, I want to tell you that I miss seeing your happy faces at our annual meeting. Hopefully we'll be together again in 2021. My name is Jason Gibbs. I am the manager of member services, and I want to spend the next couple of minutes telling you about our Operations Roundup program. We introduced this program back in the fall of 2018, and we spent 2019 allowing the account balance to grow. And at the same time, we established the board of directors, we adopted bylaws, and set up a granting process. How does the program work? Each month, we round our participating members' bills to the next whole dollar. We pool this extra change we collect and use it to support the communities we serve by awarding grants. It's not a huge amount of money we get each month, but it does add up. So far, we've been able to do a lot of great things with this money. We awarded a $500 grant to help a family of 6 after they lost their home to a house fire. We gave $500 to a family whose father was badly hurt in a head-on collision. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we awarded $500 to 7 different area food pantries. We helped Cross Ministries purchase a forklift and helped the Friends of Clarke County Conservation complete a campground on the east edge of Osceola. Altogether, we have supported individuals and nonprofits to the tune of $18,000. If you want more details of who qualifies and how to apply, please visit our website, www.cecnet.net. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Brad Wilson, and I've been the engineering manager at your cooperative for the last 7 years. On the heels of a very trying year, I would like to spend a couple of minutes saluting a group of very talented and dedicated employees who work hard every day to power your lives. This year, Clarke Electric's team has risen to the challenge as a global health pandemic began redefining our work practices. We kicked off the second quarter focused on maintaining the safety and well-being of our employees, their families, our members, and the general public. Unprecedented measures were taken to safeguard the critical workforce necessary to keep your lights on. We watched while numerous businesses and entities plunged into a state of chaos with abrupt interruptions in goods and services, lost time, and many instances of forced furloughs and layoffs. One might assume that Clarke Electric, a relatively small, not-for-profit organization with a conservative budget, would be ill-prepared to leverage the technology necessary to provide unimpeded services during such times, but that was not our story. Clarke Electric's story is that we have spent the last decade investing in technology aimed at improving your reliability, our workflow processes, and the overall member experience. I cannot tell you that we anticipated that our business continuity plan would be challenged by a global health pandemic, but disaster preparation paid dividends as we transitioned to an entirely remote environment within a 48-hour period. We picked up our mobile workstations and set up shop in our homes with the phone system successfully transferred to our cell phones and access to the company network. We effectively were running our utility from our living rooms and often with the help of small, unrelenting children. Teamwork and communications had never been more important, but we were many miles apart, which turned us to internet-based video conferencing solutions. Our electronic system maps and electronic outage management system allowed us to push work from our workstations to the field, bypassing any need for physical handoffs. Remote control of switches and other equipment, as well as having access to real-time data, made it possible to support our line crews from afar as they continue to restore power outages and perform other mission-critical duties. We understand that we are not out of the woods yet, but I come to you today with confidence that your cooperative workforce is second to none, and come hell or high water, they will work unremittingly to serve your needs. We appreciate your patience, understanding, and willingness to adapt with us over the last 6 months. We'll emerge from this better, brighter, and cooperatively together. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chad McIntosh. I'm the Operations Manager for Clarke Electric Cooperative. I'd like to take this opportunity to explain to you the procedures we take during a typical outage at your residence. If you have an outage at your residence, you have the opportunity to call in or use the Smart Hub app to notify us of your outage. During regular business working days, you can call into our office and you'll reach a Clarke Electric employee. If it's on the weekends or holidays, you will reach our dispatch center. The outage will be verified by using the outage management system in what we call pinging a meter. It'll send a signal out to the meter, which will respond and tell us whether you have voltage or you do not have voltage at your meter. At that time, we'll determine if that's our responsibility, if it's on our side of the meter. If it's our responsibility, we will notify an on-call crew. The on-call crew is on call for 24 hours a day. The B2 linemen will come to your residence and verify that you do not have power. The on-call requirements for the linemen would be to live within 20 minutes of our office. Keep in mind that we have 1,800 miles of line. That is equivalent to driving to New York City and back. So along with the 20 minutes it may take them to get to the office, and depending on where you live, it might be a little bit of a time before they respond to your call. You might ask why we have 2 linemen on call. Well, that's 2 reasons. One is safety. There's some procedures they take working on our line that require there to be 2 people present at all times, which includes being within an approach distance of high voltage. And it's the safety of the public. We do not want them driving down the road looking at maps and looking at the line and not paying attention to the road. The other one would be efficiency. If we sent 1 lineman out at a time and they come across the job they were not able to take care of by themselves, then we'd have to take the time of calling in a second employee to take care of the outage. And that's the report from the operations department. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next year.
We will now draw for 5 $100 bills and 10 $50 bills. Winners will be notified by phone following the meeting. First winner of a $100 bill is Clinton and Brandy Dyer. The next $100 bill is Randy and Jeannie Short. The next $100 bill goes to Larry and Linda Gillespie. Next one is Daniel McNeil. And the last one goes to David and Linda Ballard. Now 10 $50 bills. First one goes to Norman and Cheryl George. Dwayne Evans. Ralph or Billy Evans. Harry and Linda McClelland. Albert Phyllis Hewlett. Harold or Linda Foland. 4 more. Next one goes to Mary Davis. Larry and Bonnie Foley. Nick Brown. Stephen and Lynn Ebersol. Congratulations to all of the prize winners. With the business of the cooperative concluded, we would like to adjourn the 80th annual meeting of the cooperative. Thank you for your patience and understanding, and we sincerely hope to see you next year.